All right, Krueg Show on a Saturday. The coach might be here today. He might not. I'm not really sure. We're going to get it rolling right here. Welcome to the Krueg Show on a Saturday, blistering hot Saturday in Northern California. Let's go. Off and running on the Krueg Show on a Saturday. Welcome to Saturday, June the 13th. Of course, we're brought to you by Pig and a Pickle Barbecue in all of Northern California. He's Pig and a Pickle. Check them out. They're in Emeryville. They're in Corte Madera. They're open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. or until they run out. Get into Pig and a Pickle. Get some brisket chili. Tell them Krueg sent you. We're also brought to you by our good friends at PrizePicks. The Krueg Show is presented by PrizePicks, America's #1 sports picks app. PrizePicks is super simple. You just pick more or less on player stats or game outcomes, build your lineup. It's available in most states, including California. If you haven't checked it out yet, use code HMA, and when you play $5, you'll get $50 in lineups instantly. Thank you to PrizePicks for being a proud sponsor of the Krueg Show. Also, thank you to Alomar Marina. That's right. Float while you dine on the Sacramento River. They're at 5999 Garden Highway, open Wednesday through Sunday. Try the shrimp tacos, voted best specialty cocktails in Sacramento. The website is alomarmarina.net. Great place to get lunch or breakfast. Float while you dine on the river. It's a great spot. And also thank you to Novato Chevrolet. Go see my guy Gus, the owner of Novato Chevrolet. Top Car dealership, voted by Carfax, family owned for over 50 years, friendly staff, huge selection, easy financing, Bay Area's EV headquarters. When I buy a Chevrolet, I buy it from Novato Chevrolet. All right, we're off and running on the Krueg Show. We'll kill the music here for a second. We got the wrong banner up today. Look at this. There we go. All right. But we're off and running. We'll kill the music, kill the band. That's it. Thank you. Thanks for coming. Krueg and the coach on a Saturday. Coach is not here, and I'm gonna get into one of the things I wanted to get into. One of the things Coach wanted to get into, which was George Kittle. George Kittle. The Niners. To me, they've had a great offseason, except when it comes to the tight end position. And then it has been a fucking train wreck. What, George Kittle? You want George Kittle to come back in September, week 1? I mean, how dumb are these guys? Here's Kyle Juszczyk on the NFL Network.
You know, it is possible when you guys start the 2026 season, you will not be at full strength. Status of George Kittle very much up in the air, obviously working his way back from a torn Achilles. That is your partner in crime. I know you want him healthy, but I also know you want him back. How is he, and how do you kind of handle that part of watching your buddy rehab and, you know, wanting him back, but also wanting him to be 100%?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, George looks great. You know, as he mentioned, you know, somewhere a couple of days ago, like, he really is ahead of schedule. He was impressive just last week. Seeing him running, you know, zigzags, like making cuts, actually like hitting like 16 miles per hour or something like that. I've been super impressed, and, you know, he's got another 2 months or so to get even better. And, you know, it's been enjoyable to watch him go through this process because he attacks it as such a professional. He makes it a point to, no matter what we're doing, you know, whether even when we're down in Cabo and we're celebrating McCaffrey's birthday and we're golfing, like, that guy finds the time to rehab, whether it's early in the morning, late at night. Like, he is always grinding. It's always on the back of his mind. And I really do think he's going to, you know, beat some expected timetables. And when he does come back, whenever that is, I think he's going to come out there and be the George Kittle that we all know and love.
All right. So there's Juice talking about this, and the Niners just, now it's one thing to have a goal, right? It's good to have a goal. It's good to have a goal that's unattainable, because then you keep fighting and fighting and fighting for this. He had the surgery on January the 14th, February the 14th, 1 month. Let's count. March the 14th, 2 months. April the 14th, 3 months. May the 14th, 4 months. June the 14th, 5 months. July the 14th, 6 months. Okay. August 14th, which would be in the middle of the preseason schedule, that's 7 months. So basically, you're talking about coming back 7.5 months off of a ruptured Achilles tendon. If you Google it and say, what's the typical return from a ruptured Achilles for a football player, it will say 9 to 12 months. To me, if this guy, it's all positive until it isn't. And then all of a sudden people are going to be like, well, wait, was that wise? Right now it's like, yeah, I hope he comes back sooner rather than later. Way to go, George. Okay. I get that too. In a way it's admirable, but what happens if he comes back and I don't know, hurts himself again because he came back too soon? And then the 49ers are not acting at all like this guy's got a torn Achilles. They have not taken one iota of pressure off of him since the injury. It's like, what are you guys doing? What are you guys doing? We may have an idea what they could be doing. But if they don't have an idea, if this is it, if this is the plan, if this is the team at tight end, then why on earth would you rush this guy back 7.5 months after torn Achilles surgery when he should be probably give it a full year? In a real world, he probably would sit this one out and be like, yep, he's tucking tail. He'll be ready in somewhere between December and January. He might be back for the playoffs. And then I get to think, is this maybe like one of these other Niner things where it's like, hey, Ayuk could be ready week 1. He still hasn't come back. There were people that were credible that were telling you last year that he was going to be back in week 1 of last year. He's still not back. So what about those people? What about those reports? What about the report that said that CMC the year prior was going to be back and he was going to only be out to like week 3? He was back in like week fucking 10. What about those reports? So maybe this is just another erroneous report. We had Matt Mayoko on the radio yesterday. Matt oftentimes talks to the brass. They often leak to him. And they kind of leak through a couple guys, and he's one of them. And they, he's telling us, well, he might not be back week 1, but maybe week 2 or week 3. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, if this guy gets if you give this guy a helmet before October, that's negligence, man. If I wouldn't give him a helmet until Halloween. Wait till 9 months. You can't wait 9 months off of a torn Achilles. But once again, what have the Niners done at tight end to make this easier on Kittle? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. This is the depth chart. George Kittle is still atop it. Jake Tonjes, really nice story. Undrafted player, not a blocker, but a receiver, and a good receiver with great hands, really good hands. Maybe better hands than George, really. He's got tremendous hands. But he can't block. He's not a blocker. He can get in front of you, but eventually, defensive ends are going to steamroll him. Luke Farrell was signed to be a blocker. He has been horrible. If anybody thinks otherwise, I'd love to see what you're talking about, because this guy didn't grade out that highly last year. And in minicamp, he dropped a couple balls. Another ball thrown to him in the flat, didn't really go for it. He just doesn't look like much of a receiver. He really doesn't have anything that you say, He doesn't even look like he wants to catch it. He really doesn't. He looks like a guy who wants to be out there blocking and playing special teams. Every time they throw it to him, he doesn't seem all that excited about making a play. I haven't seen him do anything really. And the times that he does, the ball is thrown to him. He juggles it. He drops it. He doesn't catch it cleanly. If he catches it cleanly, he doesn't turn up field very quickly. There's no after the catch ability at all. So he's not much of a player. And then you got Braden Willis. What's Braden Willis? Hayden Rucci. What's Hayden Rucci? Those guys are not NFL. If they are, they're third or fourth tight ends on a team that doesn't have a great tight end unit, which is the 49ers behind George Kittle. If George Kittle didn't exist, this is the worst tight end room in the league. In the league. You don't believe me? Let's take a look. Pick a team. Rams. Let's take a look at Rams tight ends. Colby Parkinson, Tyler Higbee, Terrence Ferguson, Max Clare, the former Buckeye, Davis Allen. I don't even know these other three guys. That's 5 tight ends right there that are all better than the 49ers number 2 tight end. That's what the Rams have. Let's check out Seattle. Let's see what Seattle has. What does Seattle have at tight end? A.J. Barner, former Niner Eric Saubert, Elijah Arroyo, who was a second-round pick, who's a phenomenal receiver. Lance Mason from Wisconsin as a undrafted free agent is a nice pickup as well. John Schneider knows talent. So this room dominates. I think Barner's one of my favorite tight ends in football. Saubert is what he is, but he's a hardworking guy. But Arroyo's a major talent. All right, so Seattle's room blows the Niners room away. Let's check out Arizona in the division. Let's see what Arizona's got. We know they have Trey McBride. So Trey McBride's their one. They have the former Stanford tight end, Elijah Higgins, who's a phenomenal athlete, 6'3", 6'4", 235, very athletic. Tip Ryman, tremendous blocker, one of the best blocking tight ends in the draft. They just picked up Kenny Yeboah the other day, the former Ole Miss star. Rivaldo Fairweather from Auburn is a talented guy who's in Dallas's camp. I like this room a whole lot more than the 49er room behind Kittle. So that's the division. Should we pick a random team? Let's see what Philly's got. Since Philly stands between the Niners and the bowl often. What do they have at tight end? They have Dallas Goedert. Then they drafted Eli Stowers in the second round, who's a phenomenal athlete. They still have Grant Calcaterra, who's a solid blocker. Cam Latu, former Niner. Daquan Wright is a pretty good player as well. I think, isn't that the Ole Miss? Yeah, Ole Miss tight end. He was a pretty good player in the SEC, Daquan Wright. E.J. Jenkins, Johnny Munt. I don't know this guy. Still a pretty damn good room. Goddard and Stowers alone. Tremendous room. Goddard's a phenomenal blocker. Pretty good hands. Stowers is an unbelievable receiver. That's what they have at tight end. All right, let's check out somebody else. Who else? Who's another team? Let's see what the Bears have at tight end. The Bears have Colston Loveland, young star. Cole Kmet. They drafted Sam Roush out of Stanford in the third round. He's a tremendous blocker, big, physical, 265-pound blocker. And they got 4 other guys there. So teams are leaning into the tight end position, by the way. Look at how many tight ends these teams have. But still, I mean, that right there, way better than what the Niners have behind Kittle. Let's check. What does Kansas City have? Because Kansas City's got a star at tight end. What do they have behind Kelsey? So they have Travis Kelsey, Noah Gray, who's been there for a long time. Jared Wiley, and they picked up this guy, John Michael Gillenberg, who's a really good prospect as well. This is the Wyoming kid, I believe. Yeah. 6'6", 250 from Wyoming. That's a really good pickup right there, by the way, for Brett Veach as an undrafted free agent. So the Chiefs have a better tight end room. I mean, it's like the tight end spot for the 49ers it's frustrating because it's like you're asking George to come back really fast, and if he can't do it, you don't have anybody. You picked up Khalil Dinkins, who's a good blocker, but I mean, and Tonjes is a receiver, but who do you have that you can put out there that, that's both? George and only George. So I don't know. I don't know what the plan is for the 49ers at tight end. I don't know but clearly they're going to try to go back to try to go back to Kittle, and they're going to try to go back to Kittle probably early, probably after 7 or 8 months, probably a month ahead of time. And then nobody, it's all great. It's all great right now when we're all just like, hey, I hope he comes back. But what happens if they force it back too soon and he gets hurt? Who do we blame then? Who's to blame then? George? The Niners? And then more importantly, who's to blame? Who do you play at tight end for a full year? You're going to go with Jake Tonjes to protect Brock Purdy? Off the edges, you got Myles Garrett in the division twice a year, and you're going with Jake Tonjes? Really? Or is it going to be the Khalil Dinkins show? You're going to go with an undrafted rookie free agent tight end? Now, there are tight ends that are still out there. You could go after Jonnu Smith. He's out there. He's more of a receiver. I saw yesterday that Harold Fannin has skipped the entire Browns offseason, hasn't shown up to OTAs. I don't know what's going on there. Maybe there's an injury and it's nothing. He's had a tremendous rookie year. Man, if he's unhappy there, maybe he wants a contract. I don't know. He's on a rookie contract. He doesn't deserve an extension. He's not even up for an extension, I think, until after the 27 season. But Harold Fannin had a tremendous year to the point where George Kittle even kind of shouted him out the other day. Well, I just saw last night that Harold Fannin has not shown up to any of the OTAs for the Browns. None. So what does that mean? I don't know. Maybe it means nothing. Maybe it could mean just something as basic as he's got an injury. Could mean that he's holding out. They have he's the starter at tight end, and they moved off of Njoku, right? So they have Blake Whiteheart, Joe Royer from Cincinnati, who's not bad, Jack Stoll, Carson Ryan, Brendan Bates. I mean, this is a bad tight end room for the Browns for sure if they don't have Harold Fannin. But could you call the Browns and say, hey, if Harold Fannin's upset with his contract, hey, what do you want for Harold Fannin? That would be the kind of player that would absolutely move the needle. No question about it. Then there's talk about guys like Cole Kmet and Colby Parkinson and a couple other players maybe being set free at some point. Cap casualties or possibly at the cut down. Do you really want to take this all the way to the cut down? I don't know that I do. If I'm the 49ers, Brock Purdy likes to throw to the tight end. He likes to throw it in the middle of the field. You took away his middle of the field receivers in Ayuk and JJ. Who's he going to throw to? Who's he throwing it to in the middle of the field? I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. So there's that. There's that. So I don't know. The tight end position to me is really interesting. What do the 49ers plan to do at tight end? And one of the indications that we're getting, a guy sent me a note today that Kyle Juszczyk, in this interview that he just did, mentioned that he is working at tight end. Is that going to be enough? Is it possible that the 49ers, once again, we'll call up the Niner depth chart. I kind of think the Niners are going to go short at tight end, to be completely honest, based on the way things are shaking out here. So we'll put the Niner depth chart back up there, and you guys can take a look at it one more time. Right now, it shows Kittle, Tonjes, Farrell, Willis, Rucci, Dinkins. All right. I already told you, I only think Dinkins and Tonjes are players out of that group outside of Kittle. The other guys I don't think are any good. So I think there's a realistic world where Tonjes makes it, Dinkins makes it, and Willis, Rucci, and Farrell all get cut. And the Niners go with Juszczyk as a backup tight end, And as you know, when they want to throw it to the tight end, they'll put Juszczyk out there from time to time. And when they want that extra blocker, I think it's very likely that the 49ers are going to try to squeeze Enrique Cruz onto their 53-man roster, and probably not as the backup offensive tackle. That's probably going to go to Verdarian Lowe. So it could Enrique Cruz be carried as one extra offensive lineman and let him block on the line of scrimmage as a blocking tight end, and use kind of some combination of, Tonjes, Dinkins, Cruz, and Juszczyk at tight end until George is ready to return. Maybe that's the plan. And maybe that's not a terrible plan. Maybe that's an okay plan. Obviously, if you can get a Colby Parkinson, heck, you go do it, right? If you could get a Harold Fannin, my God, if you could ever trade for a Harold Fannin, you'd have to trade Ricky Pearsall and a 3rd round pick. You'd have to trade something good. You're not getting Harold Fannin for nothing. He had a tremendous rookie year. And in Kyle's offense, I think Harold Fannin could be a star, an absolute star. So I don't know what's going on with Fannin in Cleveland, but he did skip the OTAs for whatever reason. And maybe there's some discontent there, or maybe he's just got an injury and he's going to be there. But I did find that interesting. And there were people last night kind of speculating in the Browns chat room about, what's the deal? Where is this guy? Is he unhappy? And there seemed to be a lot of question marks around at least among Browns fans about what's going on with Harold Fannin. So that's something to watch for sure. But the other one that's kind of an interesting idea, and it's a nuclear idea, but if you get off to a decent start, or even if you wanted to make this trade ahead of time, but if you could make it at the trade deadline, you could make it this summer. How about a big pitch for Kyle Pitts? They did they franchised him or transition tagged him or whatever, but we've seen tag and trade before, and there's rumor in Atlanta that he still could be moved, and that would be really, really intriguing. That would really be intriguing. Kyle Pitts in this offense, 6'6", 250, just coming into his own. Probably had his best year last year. I don't know why Atlanta would move him, but if they, for whatever reason, were or open to moving him, there's a name. There's a difference maker, I should say. One more idea at the tight end spot. And this isn't necessarily my idea, but somebody in my chat threw it out the other day, and it's a good idea. The Niners are talking about, moving Ayuk, right, to the Commanders. The Commanders at tight end have a really loaded tight end room. If you could get one of these tight ends from the Commanders, would you do it? You might want to consider it. Look at this tight end room that the Commanders have. They signed Okonkwo from Tennessee, right? Because he's in free agency. Ertz got hurt, decided to, I don't know if he's going to retire. He's still a free agent, but they haven't re-signed him yet. They had Ertz last year, and I don't think Ertz is going to play. He might, and maybe he's a name for the Niners as well. God knows he went to Monte Vista, but he doesn't seem like he's ever wanted to play for the Niners. Ertz has had opportunities, I think, to play for the Niners in the past and declined. So maybe he just doesn't want to be a Niner. Maybe they passed over on him on draft weekend. Some of these local guys, when they get passed over by their local team, then they have this vendetta for the rest of their career. I don't want to ever play for that team. They passed me on draft day. Tom Brady, others are like that as well. But the Commanders have Chig Okonkwo, and then they have John Bates. And John Bates is one of the best blocking tight ends in football. If you look up best blocking tight ends in the game, you're going to see John Bates, his name on the list. He's a really dominant blocker. Do the Niners, with Myles Garrett in the division, try to get one of these tight ends out of Washington? I bring this up because there's a lot of guys here. Ben Sinnott was a second-round pick out of K-State by Adam Peters. Sinnott's a good player, but he's third on the depth chart here. Could you get Ben Sinnott from the Commanders? The Commanders have Okonkwo, Bates, Sinnott. Then they also have Lawrence Cager. They signed Quentin Moore. They have Anthony Ferkser, who came over from Detroit. They got a couple other guys as well. It's a pretty loaded position. If you could get either Bates or Sanat from the Commanders, all this talk about Ayuk, this and that. Matt Barrows believes eventually there'll be an Ayuk to the Commanders trade. Well, you know what? And he thinks it might come at the cut down. If the Commanders are looking at their tight end room going, we're going to go with Okonkwo and Bates and Cager, let's just say. And then they say, you know what? Ben Sanat, he may make the team, he may not. Maybe they would throw you Ben Sanat. Or let's just say they were going with Okonkwo and Sanat and Cager. Maybe they would throw you a John Bates. Who knows? So it's something to watch for. The Commanders are a team to watch for sure. But the tight end spot, to me, is a really interesting spot. There's been an awful lot of talk about what are the 49ers going to do at the pass rusher spot. But the pass rusher spot, by comparison to the tight end spot, is completely filled. Let's quickly show here the Niner depth chart one more time. Here is the pass rusher spot. Here's the D-line. Now, I'm a big proponent of go get Joey Bosa, go get Jadeveon Clowney, go get Von Miller, because I'd like one more proven edge rusher. Like, okay, who are the proven edge rushers on this team? When you throw that at as your criterion, suddenly it thins out. Is Mikael Williams a proven pass rusher? No. Is Keon White a proven pass rusher? No. Is Sam Aquinu a proven pass rusher? No. Cam Sample? No. Mikhail Kamara, Romello Height? No. Not at the NFL level. They have one proven pass rusher on the roster. It's Nick Bosa, and he's coming off his third ACL. So they need more. They need one more outside rusher for sure. But if you're going to look at a different, that's proven pass rusher. Okay, they don't have a lot of proven pass rushers. They have Nick, but they do have pretty good defensive ends. Bosa, Mikhail, Keon, Samo, Cam Sample, Romello Height, Mikhail Kamara, William Bradley King. It's not like they don't have any talent there. They just don't have a proven pass rusher outside of Nick. And I would love to have one more bullet in the chamber. One more proven pass rusher, I think would be nice. But overall, the Niners have, 17 defensive linemen on the roster right now. If they don't trade for Alex Highsmith, if they don't sign, Jadeveon Clowney or Joey Bosa, they have 17 guys right now. And there's some pretty good players there. There's some pretty good depth there. So they have depth and they have players and they have a lot of interior players. They just don't have any proven edge rushers. But compare that to tight end, where it's George, Tonjes, and cross your fingers. George off an Achilles and Tonjes, who not really much of an inline blocker, and then cross your fingers in a division that has DeMarcus Lawrence and Myles Garrett coming at you 4 times a year. So you see what I'm saying? The 49ers could use another tight end for sure. All right. So that's first thought of the show today is just, tight end wise, where are the Niners going? Now, the other thing I thought was kind of interesting on the defensive end front, Albert Breer was asked this week, should the Niners pursue Max Crosby? And I think Breer, who's a really smart guy, I thought he crystallized this perfectly. He says, I love the idea. I think the 49ers are always open to these types of deals. If I were them, I think I'd wait a bit before diving all in. Let's see how that core looks over the first month or two of the season. The last thing you'd want, I think, is to see a bunch of guys get old at once right after you sold off assets you would need to get younger. But if the Niners are, let's just say, 6-1, and the Raiders are 1-6, and Crosby's balling out, that's where, if I'm John Lynch, I'm thinking about picking up the phone. Now, I don't think the Raiders are going to help the Niners. I really don't. We've talked about this many times. Doesn't have to be Crosby, but I think Breer is hitting on something here. We don't 100% know how the first half of this year is going to go. We see this all the time in the NFL where, sometimes like older players are smarter players. Older players are more experienced players. Older players generally are more efficient players than younger players, often. But then there's that moment where older players can't do it anymore. And then younger players are better. So it's like, do you want to go with a veteran over a youngster? Yeah, I do. Until that tipping point where the veterans kind of crested the hill. And now I'll take the ascending player. And football, it ends quick. So, I mean, how much does Nick Bosa have left? How much does Dre Greenlaw have left? What does Fred Warner look like off of a devastating ankle injury? What's Trent Williams looking like? What's CMC looking like? What's Mike Evans looking like? What's George Kittle looking like? I mean, if the Niners get positive reviews on all those guys, they might be a Super Bowl favorite by the middle of the year. If all of those guys take a noticeable step backwards because they're older players, then the 49ers might have a really bad first half. And if that's the case, I agree wholeheartedly with Breer. We will all be sitting there going, why did they should trade Max Crosby. I mean, seriously, the 49ers could trade for Max Crosby, have a terrible September and October, and then be a team that's trading Max Crosby. You don't want to be in that spot. You don't want to be, we traded a bunch of draft capital to get this player, and now we're trying to sell this player at the same deadline to recoup the draft capital that we lost because we misgauged what kind of roster, what kind of team we were going to have, what kind of year we were going to have. And the bottom fell out. I mean, I don't think it's going to happen, guys. I really don't. If you said to me, like, Krueg, do you watch this team? You're at minicamp. Do you think the bottom's going to fall? No, I don't. I don't think the bottom's going to fall out. I think Mike Evans can still play. I really do. I think Trent Williams can still play. CMC, I think, is going to play less this year. 425 touches is not realistic, but Kalen Black and Jordan James, I think, are going to be able to step in. Kittle, no clue how Kittle's going to play off the Achilles. I mean, that's a major injury. No clue how Nick Bosa is going to look. Will he look a little stiff? Will he be less athletic coming off his third ACL? It's hard to say. Don't really know what Fred's speed is going to look like post ankle. I would guess he would lose a step. He had a step to lose, but I think he's going to lose a step. Dre Greenlaw, we know his body has failed him the last couple of years. So I think it's almost expected at this point that Dre's going to have some physical issues. So those are the older players. If by chance they take a step backwards, I think Breer is right. You're going to be really happy that you didn't trade, 2 number ones and a number 2 and a 4th round, some bounty or bevy of picks to the Raiders for Max Crosby. And then all of a sudden you look up and you're like, oh man, we're 1-5. We're not playing well. We got all kinds of guys who are hurt. We got, guys who are old. We need as many draft picks as we can get. I mean, the Niners could be in sell mode. The Niners should be in one of 2 modes at the deadline. We're in it, and we're in the twilight of our Super Bowl window, and we're buyers, and we're looking to fill any need that our final needs to try to make a big run at this thing. Or if things go horribly, horribly wrong, they should be in massive sell-off mode. What do you want for these guys? What do you want for Dre? What do you want for Nick? What do you want for these guys? CMC, George, anybody who's willing. If somebody's willing to give you high picks for any of your premier guys who are older, if the bottom falls out and you're not a playoff team and you look at the age of your roster, I think it would make sense at that point to sell off some of your big name guys. Maybe there's somebody who wants a Hughes check. Maybe there's somebody who wants a Mike Evans. So I think you got to consider that as well. This first half of the year is going to be huge. And the Niners are I don't think the Niners are going to be, we're just going to put our hands in our pockets. I don't think so. I think they're either going to buy because they're in it and it's go time, or they're going to sell because they're not in it and it's time to turn this thing over. That's kind of where their roster is at. It's very top heavy with stars who are in the twilight that other teams may want to trade for, if the Niners are out of it. So just something to consider. So I think even though I think we're all like, oh, how are the Niners going to react to, to Myles Garrett being a Ram? Well, I don't know that they really should react other than maybe bolster their tight end room a little bit, maybe find another real good blocker. That would always be nice. But as far as improving their own rush, there was the talk about Alex Highsmith. If you could get Alex Highsmith right now for a 4th round pick or something like that, 5th round pick, he's got a $17.7 million price tag or cap figure, I should say, for 2026. Maybe he's the in-between move that you make, kind of waiting to see how your season goes. I had to get a pull of water. It is hot today, very hot. If I seem kind of down today, you got some bad news on our golden retriever Penny, and so she's got cancerous tumors, and they've spread to her lungs. And we started a GoFundMe, and we halted it. And if anybody wants their money back, they're more entitled to it. We'll just let us know. It spread to her lungs, and it's very sad. It's very sad. So I'm a little sad today. So try to bear with me on this Saturday. I love that dog more than I love most people. And it's been really hard. It's been really hard. Laid there on the floor with her last night for an hour, and just she put her paw on my arm, and it's just so tough. I never knew how much I would be into. This is the first dog I ever had. I didn't have a dog as a kid, and I knew I'd be sad when she was gone. But she's only 56 years old. She's only 8. So I thought it would be a while, and I'm not prepared for it, and it's rocked me. Very emotional about it, very sad about it, and I don't know what else to say other than it's been a tough 24 hours. And thank you to all the people that reached out. Thank you to all the people who donated. Just want to say thanks to all you guys for helping out. We wanted to save her life, and doesn't look like it's going to be possible. So thank you, though, to everybody who did, kind words, lots of notes, lots of chats. Man, I got to get it together, man. Got to get it together. But just very sad today. So it's been a tough 24 hours. But yeah. Anyway. I love the audience. I love doing this. I wouldn't choose anything else. But on days like this, it's hard to not think about what I'm really thinking about. And I never would have thought 8 years ago that I would ever have a dog, that I would ever feel this way about a dog. But, it's been an incredible relationship. We had this dog through the pandemic. It was a unifying force for our family. And it's just been really a tough thing. So we're going to take her today and get her washed and do some final fun things with her. But unfortunately, even though so many of you donated and so many of you cared, we're not going to be able to save her. And so it's just a very sad day for me. I'm just going to hit a couple of these chats, and then I'm going to jet. I hope you guys have a great Saturday, and we'll have a lot of laughs and a lot of fun. Between now and camp, we'll do a lot of fun stuff. But today, it hurts. It really hurts. And I never thought I'd be like this, but just overcome with emotion about this animal. So I never thought I would be like this, but anyway. Penny is her name. She's our golden retriever. She's a beautiful, beautiful animal. Suspicious of all squirrels. 24/7. And, I take this dog for walks, and another, person walks up with their dog. Person could be like 50, 60, 70 yards away. Sometimes she'll just go to the ground, just be like, waiting for them not to attack, just because she's like, wants the other owner. She more wants the other owner to come over and pet her. So she's just, she's been a joy, and she's been a real balancing part of my life, and it's just really been tough. I'm probably more emotional about this than I am about, family members that I've lost. I don't even know why. I can't even put my finger on it. It's almost like losing a child. Anyway, crashing out here on the internet, so I'm going to go. But I just wanted to say thank you to all of you guys. In the last 4 years, we've built this YouTube channel. And it's really been a community of people. And I thank my son. I thank all the people that we've had as all the different guests and all the different content we've put out there. And I'm proud of all of it. And we'll continue to put out good content and hunt for great content and bring you guys all the data and all the reports from camp and the locker room stuff. You guys know how much I love going in the locker room and talking to the guys and, finding out their stories and letting you guys know their stories. It's one of the things that I love the most about covering the Niners is the open locker room time and just getting a chance to go up to sometimes a practice squad guy and be, hey, where are you from, man? And I love doing that stuff. I didn't know how much I would enjoy that part of it until I got into it, but I really do enjoy that. Because they all have great stories, and you don't get to the NFL by yourself, right? There's always a coach, a mom, a dad, a friend, an agent, and these guys are often appreciative. Football players are great people. I really do believe that. These guys are somewhat simple, right? They do a lot of lifting and dieting and training, but they're really good people at their core. And I admire the players, and I admire the struggle, and I admire what they put themselves through and the courageousness and everything that goes along with being a pro football player in America in 2026. So I try to bring that admiration. I hope it shows in the content that we provide, that we do it. I'm not out there because I hate the players or I resent the players. I don't. I think there are probably people out there that do. I love the players. And I love telling their stories, and I love bringing some of that to you guys through our YouTube channel, and it's been a real joy. So, but I just want to say, in this 4 years of running this channel, we've built a whole community of people, and it's really great. And I can't even tell you how much I appreciate you guys now. Some of you I've met, some of you I've talked to, some of you I've argued with, some of you I've yelled at, some of you I've had a chance to actually meet at some of our meet and greets, and I love it. I love it. We had a meet and greet in Marin, and we had people come up from San Diego, come down from some young guys coming down from like the Oregon border. It's just to say it touches me in my heart. It really does. I love working with my son. I'm so proud of him and everything that he's done. So it's just an emotional day for me right now. I'm gonna hit a couple of these chats, and then and thank you for all of your well wishes. Harry Johnson says, "Is Kevin Givens retired? Been with us since 2019. Forgotten man." I don't know. I don't know if he's retired. He might be. He could probably catch on with somebody. He's not on the Niner roster in any way, shape, or form. But I could see him getting on a roster this summer. He's had the one thing about Givens at this juncture, he tore the pec. And when you tear the pec and your job is to kind of do a lot of this, which, it's like you can re-tear your pec. And it's a painful injury. And it's also a hard injury to rehab from. And it's a bad injury for defensive linemen because that's kind of what they got to do. They got to corral the running back. A lot of it's how strong are you in the chest? You got to fire your arms out. And if you have chest pectoral tears, that can be a career ender. So I don't know. I hope for his sake that he gets back. He's a good dude. Mendez says, crazy how Jake Brendel is going to start still. Yeah, they love Jake Brendel. I mean, the Niners offensive front got their lunch handed to them in Seattle. And yet they're coming back with basically the same guys. So we'll see. I mean, that's probably the saddest part about the whole thing. As far as the 49ers is then I walked out of Lumen Field in the playoffs thinking two things. The Niners separation, or three things. The Niners had no pass rush, couldn't do anything with Sam Darnold, couldn't put any pressure on him. But the Niners receivers had zero explosive, zero separation. I mean, just horrible. And the third thing was the Niner offensive line got their lunch handed to them. And I don't know what else to say about that. They've improved their receiving core. They've improved their defense. They've improved their pass rush. But have they improved their offensive line? I don't know. We'll find out. Maybe we'll see. Maybe that left guard spot is an improvement. Coach, what's going on, man?
What's going on, bro?
Oh man, been a rough.
Man, my bad, man. Got caught up at the range.
That's all right. I'm just going through some supers here. I got this one. Cass says, Krug, my heart is with you. Man, I appreciate you.
What's going on?
Oh, Penny, our golden retriever, has tumors. She's got tumors. We just discovered this week, and then we went and we thought they were removable. And we went and had some scans done and some blood work done by the vet yesterday. And the cancer is spread to her lungs, to her lymph nodes, and it's probably all throughout her body. So we're just probably going to have to, I can't even say it. But yeah. So I did a GoFundMe just because I'm an idiot, and it was going to cost thousands and thousands of dollars. I don't have that right now to throw towards it. And some people got mad at me for it. I get it. I understand, but I think a lot of times people think that we're wealthier than we are, maybe, but I just was looking for a little assistance and a little help. And then we halted the thing because we found out the news, and we're offering to return everybody's donations, of course. And if people don't want their donations returned, we're just going to make a donation to like an animal rescue shelter on her in her name. We really don't know what to do. But yeah, it's the end is near for Penny, and it's my first dog, and I don't know why I'm so connected to this dog, but I am, and it's weird, and it's been an emotional 24 hours because it's like I can't even think of, it's all happened so fast. She's only 8 years old. We didn't know anything about any of this until like 4 or 5 days ago. So it's just been a tough thing. And and I probably crashed out earlier in the stream, just getting emotional about it, just not, just thanking the people that, there's so many people, Coach, who have, donated, so many people who have reached out, so many people who have, sent me notes, and I mentioned it in one stream. So in the comments on that stream, I've got all kinds of people sending me notes and this and that. But, and there's so many people that care about animals in a way that's so profound, and it's touching to me. So anyway, that's kind of what you walked into here, Coach. So sorry about that. But Cass says, Krueg, my heart is with you. And Cass, we appreciate you. We got this one from Poor Man's Investor. He says, stay strong. Thank you. Thank you, man. The Tattooed Jesus says, for Penny, I'm sorry, Krueg. I'm sorry. Thank you, man. And we have this one from Frank. And he says, I lost my dog, Will, a few years ago. It was awful going through it. I feel your pain, brother. Prayers for you. P.S. You're still lazy. LOL. Thank you. Appreciate that. James says, Krueg, you're going to make me cry, man. Sending love. Yeah. I believe me, I'm not one to want to crash out, especially publicly, but I also don't bullshit anybody. You know what I mean? I don't try to pretend. I don't do a lot of pretending. I'm happy all the time because I'm happy all the time. I'm not pretending to be happy all the time. I'm actually happy all the time. And then when I get pissed off, I'm legitimately pissed off. And when I'm sad, I'm legitimately sad. And, this one has rocked me in a way that's been very, very difficult to deal with. Coach, a couple things. I wanted to, I'm glad that you're here. You wanted to talk a little bit about the Kittle thing. I also want to get your thoughts a little bit on Ayuk, who took down a couple of his social media posts. And
I want to talk about. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, go ahead. What do you want to talk about?
Penny, man. God. Larry, I'm sorry. Hannibal is that's my right hand. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's lived in my shadow. As a pup, I weaned him. And I can only imagine what you're going through. My heart goes out to you, man.
Thank you, man.
I wish I would have talked to you before the stream. Hey, we got.
This was not the plan. I was not planning on doing this. I just have, I just overcome with emotion thinking about this, and it's just weighing on me. We're gonna take her today. We're gonna take her today to get washed. Probably her final bath, and she loves it. And
go get those paw prints in clay. Plant a dogwood tree. We got to commemorate her. So she lives on. But my heart goes out to you, brother. And I already know my day's coming. I'm etched. We're all cursed. Pet lovers, animal lovers. We're cursed because we take on something knowing full well that we're gonna outlive our own pets. And this is a day that you don't want to see anybody go through. So, Larry, I love you, man. I'm sorry that you're hurting, and we're here. We're lifting you up. We're lifting you up. You're gonna be all right, brother. You're gonna be all right.
Well, let's talk about a couple other things.
Let's get some Niners, man. Let me agree with you, disagree with you, so I can bang you around a little bit. Let's get it, man.
Let's do it.
Come on, man. Get your lazy ass up, Larry. Let's go. Let's go. Pumping you up. I'm pumping you up. Let's go, Larry. Let's get locked in. Let's get locked in. It's all Niners time, dog.
Hey, wait a second.
Come on, man. Let's get it. Get hype in the chat. It's time to talk some Niners, dog. Let's get it.
Let's restart this bitch.
Let's get it, dog. Let's get it, Larry. The baddest motherfucker in the business. Let's go, Larry. Let's get it.
Welcome to the Krueg Show.
Yeah.
Hope everybody's having a great one. We'll kill the band. That's it for the band.
Let's get it.
But wait, Coach is here. in honor of Penny.
Let's go. Penny! We love you, girl.
Let's talk about Ayuk for a sec. Let's talk about Ayuk.
Okay.
Because Ayuk had this, he's been torturing the Niners, all these, this and that. I don't know if he's torturing them, but he's torching them. And then he took it off. He took it all down. Why do you think he did it? Why do you think he backtracked and took it down? Do you think his agent got to him? Do you think the Commanders said to him, hey, you better do this? You think the Niners said to him, hey, look, we ain't cutting any deal with you until you take down those social media? I mean, why do you think he abandoned his 2 rip videos on the Niners?
I think because he's had a chance to let that stuff burn. You put it out there in the ether, and that's the thing about shooting your shot on the internet. You shoot your shot and it stays there. It doesn't necessarily fade away. And you know what else doesn't fade away? Those chat bots, right, where you can get in there and read all of those comments that are really not good, and they're staying on Brendan Ayuk's character. Some of them are staying on his mental health or his career, and you really don't want that stuff out there just sitting for anybody to just see it. It still lives. So taking it down is kind of, ripping the Band-Aid. It sucks. Everybody knows that you did it. But after a while, we understand how the news cycles work on the social media. Give it a couple of weeks and nobody will be looking for those videos nor talking about them unless referencing a new deal with the Redskins or the Washington Commanders, should I say. Now, with the Commanders, Larry, I do believe that there was a conversation of like, dude, if you think that you're going to come in here like a goddamn pit stop hot off the track and we're going to pick you up after everything that you've done, you got another thing coming. You got to clean up your cachet a little bit. You got to stay quiet. And if we sign you on, we can move, we'll see what we can do. Now, this is what's sneaky. Yesterday, the NFL ruled on Stephon Diggs' gambling case and said that they found no evidence to move further with the investigation. Now, that's really what people have been waiting for as the other shoe to drop on Stephon Diggs becoming a Commander here. That's something that nobody is talking about, where Brandon Ayuk may be overselling himself, because Stephon Diggs is a hometown kid, okay? He's from here. Played in the shadow of the stadium. Everybody here has been waiting for that type of connection, Stephon Diggs to come back. He's available right now. He would also fit well with Terry McLaurin, and I think that would be a good fit, and possibly they would sign him for about Ayuk money. So I'm telling you, the investigation from the NFL lifting that inquiry off of Stephon Diggs is not good news for Brandon Ayuk. And I think that's a little bit of reason why he cleaned up his resume, so to speak, because he understood that there's a little bit more competition for that job.
There's a lot of talk also in the last 48 hours that Diggs is going to wind up in Baltimore, which Baltimore and DC are all right there. He went to Maryland. He may want to play for the Commanders, but if the Commanders don't have room for him, he could go to Baltimore. I mean, they have Zay Flowers, they have Rashad Bateman, they added Jacoby Lane from SC in the draft, they added Elijah Surratt from Indiana, but they could definitely use Diggs. And why, I don't know. I'm not sure who we'd rather play for there, but that's another option. I mean,
why do you think he tore it down?
I think he tore it down because I think he knows that the Niners, he's got to cut a separation deal with the Niners. So I don't think it's as much about the Commanders as it is about the Niners just saying, hey, you know what? There's no reason to war with the Niners. If you want to war with the Niners, they already have your replacements. They've moved on. You're the only one who hasn't moved on. And they don't have to move on from you. They've already paid you all the guaranteed money. And right now, you haven't even reported yet. So they don't even have any deadlines. It's not like he's not part of their roster. He's not part of their deal. So I thought there was a September deadline. No, there's not. So they can just hold him, just, look at it this way. If the 49ers were like, hey, we don't want to do anything that even has 1% chance of burning us this year, well, they could wait till after the Commanders game in week 6 and then hand him on.
Release him.
Yeah, then release him. Why would you allow the Commanders I don't know what the odds are on if Ayuk is ever going to be back to what he was or even back to being a really good player. But let's just say it's got a 20% chance of happening. Why would you take that 20% chance of losing that game to the Commanders with a player who is ready to play and ready to beat you? Why would you hand him over for nothing? So that would be my thing. If he can't play at all, then, and who knows? Because, Coach, in that one of those videos, he's like, look, they try to take away my guarantees for 27, and I'm going to be on a new team in 27. Well, what about 26?
What about 26, dude?
And they took away your guarantees for 26, not 27. And so but was that did he say that by accident, or is he not coming back this year? Is he aiming for next year? And if he's aiming,
so he'll be 29.
Well, not only that, he'd be out for 2.5 years since the injury.
Yeah, that ain't nah.
That seems weird.
Who's held out that long and came back as a skill guy?
I mean,
is there precedence?
I mean, Roger Staubach went to the Naval Academy, if you back in the day, you know what I mean?
I mean, Jesus Christ.
You know what I mean? But I mean,
that was a deep pool.
I'm just trying to think. I can't think of anybody who's away. There haven't been, Willie Mays in baseball was gone for a couple of years. Ted Williams was gone for a couple of years. But I can't think of anybody who's had an injury and they've been gone for 2 years. I mean, Joe Montana.
2-year injury.
Joe Montana hurt his back.
Joe
in 87 or something like that, and
Willis McGahee.
Yeah, but he never came back and did anything. Did he?
He was okay. Willis McGahee was okay,
but I mean,
his best years were in Buffalo for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was a pretty devastating injury. But I mean, either way, I mean, I think it has more to do with Ayuk has been informed that, you know what. You're ripping the Niners. You're not making them happy, and you're going to need them at some point to cut you loose. And they could either do it today, or they can do it whenever they damn well please. And you want it to be preferably this summer, not now. There's going to be some, there's going to be some criticism if the 49ers hold him past training camp or cut down. I mean, it's people will be like, what the heck's going on here? And there'll be lots and lots of commentaries about, hey, they should release him. And Nick Wagner, I don't know if you saw this, Coach, but Nick Wagner, who covers the Niners for ESPN, went on social media and was like, let me see if I can find it here. But Wagner basically was like, he thinks the Niners should have already cut him. He thinks that they should have already cut him, that they haven't cut him. He thinks this he makes it sound like it's on them. Let me see if I can find this here. But yeah, I mean, should the Niners have already cut him loose, or should and some people are like, yeah, but I would go on the other side of it and be like, why should they help him beat them? There's no real reason for them to help him beat them. This is what Wagner said. Okay. I personally think they should have done it in March and just been over it, because you don't have to deal with this social media videos and whatever else. Maybe the 49ers just don't care. It just doesn't seem like they do care all that much. But I think sometimes it's better to just move on and be done with it. Coach Yak put that out, and Coach Yak then added his own sentence. He says, I disagree. I love the pettiness by the team. Let the MF stay mad for as long as possible. Looking forward to his next crash out on his Instagram page. So there's fans like Coach Yak who are like, hey, they treat me like a vendetta. And media people are looking at this, not all, but Wagner is like, hey, they should have already cut him loose. But I think the 49ers are more competitive than Nick Wagner. Nick's just worried about, I don't know what he's worried about, but you know what? It's about winning games. And this guy's going to try to beat you, and he's on the schedule. So why would you hand, if there's a 5% chance that he could play and play well, why would you hand that over to the Commanders and then have to deal with it in week 6? And what if Ayuk, some people, Grant has suggested that he thinks Ayuk might be really good when he returns. If that's the case, that he might be a top 10 NFL receiver then you sure as hell. I mean, heck, guys like me and others, fans will be questioning if the Niners lose to the Commanders in week 6, and it's because Ayuk went there and Ayuk's awesome. Well, the 49ers didn't have to let him go there, before that game. So, I mean, if they have any concern about that, I mean, maybe they are afraid of the belt. Maybe they are afraid of what Ayuk's going to do to them. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I don't necessarily think that they're afraid of what Brandon Ayuk is going to do to them. I think our time will best be served looking at the milestones of what we know is going to happen, right? So the reason why I bring that up is because we know that Brandon Ayuk, if he does not report, he's going to start accruing fines, right? Through training camp. So I don't know the tune. I wish I had the numbers right in front of me, but it's to the tune of multiple thousands of dollars per day.
It's $50K per day.
$50K per day. So does Brandon Ayuk have the stomach for that, right? And we know that we're not in any type of situation traditionally where if this was a holdout, we could get that, Brandon Ayuk would kind of get those fines paid off by the Niners. They kind of take it on the arm, and he wouldn't really get the fines. But there's no way in hell that the Niners are not going to fine Brandon Ayuk for not showing up. So that's one. So that's one milestone. When camp starts, Brandon Ayuk's clock starts fiscally, his money. So that's one. Two, we keep talking about if the Niners want to hold Brandon, if the Niners want to hold Brandon, if the Niners want to hold Brandon. There's two things that we keep forgetting. One, Brandon Ayuk has not physically walked through the doors. He needs to show up. The Niners cannot walk to his home and start administering intake, all right? That's not the way this works. He needs to come in. That's three. 4, when Brandon Ayuk finally does come in, whenever he comes in, even if he takes on the fines, he still has to pass a physical. All right? He's still got to pass a physical. And then that'll be the first time the Niners actually put their hands on Brandon Ayuk. And then we don't even know what type of saga that's going to be, whether or not they clear him. And then 5, Brandon Ayuk is due a bonus in September that the Niners do not want to pay. So just how long are they going to play this game out? To the chagrin of charging themselves even more money and paying him more money on a bonus that you have to pay him in September because he's on the roster? So
he's not on the roster right now. That's the thing. They don't have to pay him that because right now, and he can't just show up. He's got to file for reinstatement both with the NFL and the 49ers. And if they allow him to be reinstated, or once they reinstate him, then he can show up. So a lot of people have been like, hey, you should just walk into the facility. Well, he theoretically,
he's got a lot of paperwork to do. And then on top of it, he's got a misdemeanor warrant.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's a felony warrant. Is it a misdemeanor or a felony?
It's a misdemeanor.
Misdemeanor warrant that he's got to go handle. So as soon as you show flesh and blood on premises, you don't even know if the cops are waiting for you. You know what I'm saying? So
and we don't even know.
There's a lot of moving parts.
Yeah, and we don't even know if he can play. I mean, that's the other thing.
And then we don't even know if he can actually play.
And we haven't seen him do any. We haven't seen him do any routes. We haven't seen him run. We haven't seen him cut. We saw him standing there, but we haven't even seen pictures of his legs. We've seen pictures of his upper body, but he looks somewhat lean, but he didn't. Who knows? Maybe he's in shape. Maybe he's not. So who knows? Who knows?
That would be cold blooded though. If the boys was waiting for BA at the facility, how cold blooded would that be? Oh, that would be so nuts.
It's absolutely possible. It's one of the range of possibilities. Hey, one of the things I brought up earlier as well. We were talking about, the Ayuk thing. The Niners are set at receiver, but they're not set at tight end. They're not set. They have a bunch of edge rushers, but I mentioned, I don't know if you heard this, but Harold Fannin no-showed the entire Browns OTAs.
Did you hear Kittle shout him out, Larry?
I did hear Kittle shout him out. And then I don't know why other than he was healthy at the end of the year.
Up?
I don't know. It could be an injury, but he has not participated in any of their OTAs. They have a brand new offensive coordinator. They've got a brand new offense. You know what I mean? So I don't know if, he had a great rookie year, but I don't know if he comes out. But you know what? I'll tell you, that all this talk about the edge rusher. If I were the 49ers and I could add a piece, I would try to trade for Harold Fannin. Because Harold Fannin, I think, would be a phenomenal get. Now, obviously, you'd have to give up something good. Probably high picks, a high pick.
Okay.
Maybe a second-round pick, maybe a third-round pick, maybe multiple picks. But I think that's the kind of player I would do it for. He's on his rookie deal. He doesn't make a lot of money. He's a really good receiver. I think he would be phenomenal in the Niner offense. Especially, he would allow Kittle to heal at his own rate and not rush back. I threw that out earlier in the stream. Just that I don't know what's going on with Fannin, but man, if I were the Niners, I definitely would look into that. I'd look into that because he's probably the best young tight end in the game. At least that's available. If he's available, who knows? He might not even be available. Let's do this though. Let's do our PrizePicks lineup for today. We will share the screen. Oh, wait a second. Hold on a second. We'll do our PrizePicks lineup. Cancel that. Move us to the corner. And now I'll share the screen and we can put the PrizePicks lineup up there. And of course, PrizePicks, we'll move our format over here. Get this all pretty. Make sure it looks nice. There we go. Hey. All right. So, and then we should tell you that we'll jump into our PrizePicks lineup for today. PrizePicks is America's #1 sports picks app. The reason I like it, it is simple. You're just picking more or less on player stats or game outcomes, building your lineup, and you're in. No complicated stuff, just what you think is going to happen in the game. Use code HMA, play $5, get $50 in lineups instantly. The link is in the description. All right, we will get into this right here, right now. Why don't we go? Well, why don't we go NBA Finals? Because the NBA Finals is going on, and tonight it is game. What is it? It's 3-1, so it's game 5 tonight in Spurs and in San Antonio. It goes 5 in San Antonio, 6 in New York at MSG, 7 if necessary, back in San Antonio. So I like Victor Wembanyama over. I think he's going to have a monster night. So I'm going to say 34.5 points, rebounds, assists added together. I like that over. I think he's going to have a big night. Something tells me the Spurs get one last victory here, and I think Vic leads them there. And let me see if there's anybody else here. I don't know if any of these jump out at you, but I like Julian Champagnie more than 15.5 points, rebounds, assists. And I probably will go with less on Jalen Brunson with 24 field goal attempts. So let's see. Is there any that you like on here, Coach? We could go one more.
I like Karl Anthony Towns. Take that one. 4th down. Keep going down. Yeah. Right there in the middle. 16.5 points.
More or
less. Let's go with. Let me see what he's got. Click into him. Can you click?
I'm clicking on him.
Oh, that's cool. Let's go with.
Oh, there it is.
There we go. No, let's go with less.
Okay.
Go with less.
You go with less on Karl Anthony Towns, and we'll come over here. We'll put $5 on it here, and all right, bingo, bango. There's our lineup. Let's view it. It's a big one. $5 to pay us 35. We need Victor Wembanyama to have 35 points, rebounds, and assists or more. Julian Champagnie to have 16 points, rebounds, or assists or more. Jalen Brunson, less than 24 field goal attempts. Karl Anthony Towns, less than 16.5 points. If we go 4 for 4, our $5 pays us $35. Thanks you to PrizePicks for being a proud sponsor of the Krueg Show. We appreciate PrizePicks quite a bit, and they're a great sponsor, so we appreciate them. We'll move that out of the way. Also, a couple other ones I want to hit before we get out of here. Couple topics. One,
Okay.
Alfred Collins and Mikael Williams. It says Barrow said inside the Niner building, they think Alfred Collins is going to be great. They think Mikael Williams is going to be special. Maybe they're right. We just haven't seen it yet. They're relying on faith that these guys really hit the 2025 draft out of the ballpark. They're obviously seeing things at practice. What do you think? Is the 25 draft class? We could probably call that up here as well. The 25 draft class, is that going to be considered to be a good draft class? How do you think that thing's going to, we're over time, we always look at these things a little different. So here, I'll share the screen. This is the 2025 draft class. We could take a look at it. So Mikael Williams, Alfred Collins, Nick Martin, Upton Stout, C.J. West, Jordan Watkins, Jordan James, Marquise Siegel, Curtis Rourke, Connor Colby, Junior Bergen. Is this, there's volume there.
Yeah.
They got probably 10 players out of 11. There's 11 picks. I think only Junior Bergen is not good. Who knows about Rourke? The rest of the guys I got pretty good hope for.
Yeah. Well, the biggest guys that we're talking about right now is Mikael and Alfred. Now, I was high on Mikael Williams. He started 9 games. We already know he tore his ACL in Week 9 versus the Giants. But before the injury, he had 20 tackles, 4 tackles for loss, 3 QB hits before the season was cut short. And one thing that we noticed is that he was setting the edge remarkably. Like, as far as what he was giving us in the run game, we were okay having Mikael set that edge. Also, he was picking up his tempo with some of the packages that we were running, especially moving him down into defensive tackle. I think that's why a lot of people want him to switch down there. But the versatility is real. The only thing that I worry about with Mikael Williams is just the slow development due to the injury, right? You can't replace time missed when you're not when you're not on the field with your guys. So we got to see exactly how far behind he is, because that's real. He's behind. Don't let anybody lie to you and talk to you about mental reps and sitting in the meeting room and he's been keeping up. All of that is coach speak. He's behind. And we got to figure out how far he's behind and how fast we can get him ramped up, but at the same time being comfortable, making sure that he's comfortable and doesn't, have a setback with his injury. So Mikael it's a story that's as old as time in the NFL about getting a guy back, but it's just a little different because he's a younger guy. He's not a veteran. So there's development involved with him getting back in his rehab. So as far as Mikael, I'm just excited to get him back. I think he's a good kid. I think that as far as his body is concerned, how he looks coming into this season will tell me everything, because I'll know he's worked. And what you can also count on with him is that he's a young kid. I think he's just turned 22 now. We got him at 2021. So he's young. His body can take the punishment now. I know he's redlining right now because he's gone through an entire college career, not that much, but went through a college career where he was hurt, then rehabbed and came through that, worked all through the offseason to get himself ready for the NFL, then went through his first NFL camp, and then boom, he burst the gasket in Week 9. I'm telling you, him being able to get this knee together, there's other injuries that are going to help him out to get him back to snuff. It's the same in the same way if you look at Dre Greenlaw with his Achilles situation, how the quad happened and the hamstring happened. He really did need to just sit down. So I'm glad that Mikael has gotten the time to sit down. And the same thing with Alfred Collins. Alfred Collins needed some rest too, finished off the season with the a season-ending shoulder injury that required surgery. But one thing that I love about Alfred Collins is that he gave us probably 2 years he's probably had 2 years of the most football he's ever played in his life. His senior year with Texas, where he damn near played every snap as their nose tackle and their 3-tech, and coming in here and having to take over with the musical chairs that we had going on at defensive tackle. 300+ snaps, the run-stuffing nose tackle that he gave us. But the only thing about him is that PFF tagged him and C.J. West with the team's lowest defensive grades at a 35 overall grade. They have a solid floor, but they're still growing. Now, that's what I feel about Alfred Collins more so is Alfred Collins has had more plays where he's popped, right? the multiple fumbles that he's forced, the forced fumble that he had on the goal line against the Rams, where Alfred Collins has really kind of stuck in our brain as far as being somebody who, oh man, we can attribute our brain to those plays and think that Alfred Collins is kind of the leading guy, especially with how much he played at 300 plus snaps. But if you're looking for like the true upside of playing, it would be Michael. I think that CJ West and Alfred Collins, they've got to put out a little bit more for production with how many snaps they're playing.
I just think that when you look at the 49ers, at the last couple of drafts, they got 6 guys from the 24 draft: Pearsall, Green, Pooney, Mustafa, Cowing, and Bethune, that are all still on the roster and getting better. Okay, so you got 6 guys there. And then you got 10 guys from this last class. Everybody except for Bergen is still on the roster and getting better. To me, that's the most exciting part of this season for the 49ers, is that you have 2 draft classes back to back where you have 16 players in these 2 draft classes that are still on the roster. The arrow theoretically is pointing straight up on all these guys. They're getting nothing but better. That's what happens typically in the NFL. After a year or 2, you get better. So that's powerful. That's explosive. Now, we don't know if the Niners go, 0 for 6 on the 24 draft and 0 for 11 on the 0 for 10 on the 25 draft and 0 for 16 in the last 2 combined. Yeah, maybe it's all for naught. But a lot of these guys potentially are starters. McKell, Collins, Stout. Some of these guys are already starters. And then there's guys like West and Watkins and Siegel and Colby and Pearsall and Renardo and Pooney and Mustafa and Cowing. And a lot of these guys are starters. And there are a lot of good young players there, and the arrow's pointing up. And so to me, the collective of 16 guys with the arrow pointing up is a good number. That's a good number in the last 2 drafts. It doesn't even include this year's draft, which also could, they could Stribling, Height, Black, Halton. In fact, I did a video the other day. Somebody had a report out that they feel like it was Ryan Fowler from the Draft Network, said that his sources said that Jaden Duggar was the most impressive at OTAs. Now, I thought he was impressive.
Really?
I don't know if I would have said he was the most impressive, Coach, but he was impressive because he is long and rangy and athletic and fast. But I don't know who Ryan Fowler's no joke. He's not a media guy. He's more of a scout. And he's got scouting connections. So I'm kind of wondering who whispered that to him. He's going to be on with me, I think, tomorrow. And we'll break it down a little bit more. But if Duggar if his report's accurate, that Duggar's really looking good in his mind, I kind of think the first 4 guys, Stribling, Height, Black, and Halton, are all going to be contributors as rookies. And so if Duggar in any way, I don't think Duggar will be, but Price, Carver Willis, Enrique Cruz, Jaden Duggar, probably not. Those are, but I think those first 4 guys definitely could not just be rookies on this team, but could be really good. I think Stribling might be there. Stribling, if you told me at the end of the year that Stribling's one of their most productive receivers, I would not be surprised by that. I think Romello Height's going to be productive. I think Kalen Black's going to be productive. So they have some rookies that might be able to produce right away, and they also have 2nd and 3rd year players where the arrow's pointing up. All right, let's do this.
You also got to love the variety as well. There's some names that we're still waiting on to emerge from that rookie class of 11 in 2025. Jordan James, barely used, 3
Jordan
offensive
Watkins.
snaps. Jordan Watkins, minimally used, all right? We already talked about what we need out of CJ West. Another thing, Nick Martin, right? Depth and special teams guy, limited impact, if not at all, right? And then also, I think we're not putting enough respect on our guy's name, especially with how much we've been talking about this group. Upton Stout, man. I am excited to see what he does his sophomore season. 82 total tackles, a sack, forced fumble, 5 passes deflected only in 1 year. Played 58% of all the defensive snaps, had a 62 overall PFF grade, who actually played all of the meaningful snaps. I mean, dude, you talk about how he's coming on. The pick that he had in week 4 against Trevor Lawrence that got called off, that was BS. All right. 4 weeks in, Stout is already getting held by Bill Bill Barnwell out of ESPN talking about how quickly he's becoming a 49ers favorite. I mean, dude, Upton Stout could really turn into a piece for us. I'm excited to see what he's got.
There, it's funny. I've talked to him a couple times at his locker, and he is just has this intensity, and it's like, I mean, it's awesome. I mean, it's you can see his intensity. I mean, the athleticism is off the charts, but he's got an intensity to football that is really cool. That's really cool. It's like if you've coached football, you've played football, anybody who's ever coached it, scouted it, ever been a part of it, putting a team together, you want guys like this, man. You want guys with this kind of toughness, with this kind of drive, with this kind of intensity. If I could clone Dre Greenlaw, I would. What is it about him? It's how much it means to him. I mean, and that's what I think Dre brings to the Niners is like, you can't Cadillac it when it means everything to that guy. You know what I mean? You can't.
Yeah.
Nothing looked worse than nothing was more of a contrast than Dre Greenlaw to Devondre Campbell. They were in the locker room together, and Campbell was filling in until Greenlaw was ready. And it's like everybody seemed to know that except for Campbell. And then when Greenlaw got ready and was ready to go, it was like Campbell just started spouting off at his locker, just screaming and yelling. And it's like,
really?
What? Yeah. This guy's just,
how did I not hear about this? Go ahead.
I talked about it. I talked about it on live streams. I'm like,
this is 2024?
Yeah. This guy was at his locker, just openly swearing. Now, he wasn't like swearing at Dre. He was just like, this MF or that, this, I'm going to tell this guy, I'm going to get in his face. I'm going to kick his ass. He's just talking loud around his locker, just angry, just spewing all this anger.
Angry?
Right? And so, I mean, I've been in a lot of NFL locker rooms, a lot of CFL locker rooms. I've been around a lot of different football teams. I know what the locker room's supposed to look like and sound like, and that wasn't it, right? And I'm like, so I started talking about it on the stream. I'm like, you got this guy. I go, they got to get this guy out of the room like really quick because this guy's gone totally south. I said that on like a Tuesday. Like literally by the next week, he had totally crashed out. They had told him to go into the game. He told them that he didn't want to go into the game. And Lynch shouted him off the sideline, and they cut his ass, sent him home. And it's like
he was.
I could have told.
Did he honestly believe that he was gonna take Dre's job?
I don't know. I guess.
That's crazy.
But he was so angry, and it was such a distraction in the room, and it was like, whoa. And I'm like, dude, this is not right. This guy's openly screaming and yelling. He's obviously pissed. He's angry. Guys are staying away from him. Other guys, as he's screaming, I'm looking over at them. They're kind of rolling their eyes like, I don't know what's up with that dude. It's like, and then he went AWOL on the team. It was unbelievable.
What's interesting about that though?
What
is the devil's in the details. You can tell that like that's kind of a real. What you're describing to me doesn't sound like a guy who wigged out in the locker room. You sound like you're talking about a guy who wigged out in an office building. You know what I mean? Like because in a locker room, there's locker room dynamics where if he was doing all of that, maybe Trent walks over to him, maybe Fred walks over to him, and it's like, hey man, what's going on? Let's take it over into the back room. At least take him out the locker room or something. Like the fact that he was allowed to just wig out and nobody kind of went over to him lets you kind of know it looks like an outsider who finally was like, you know what? Enough of this. I ain't going to play. It is what it is. And it's like, it's in a way of like everybody knowing something before you did, in a way like you're the last to find something out. And the whole room already knows it. Because it doesn't sound like anybody was over there surprised about what he was doing. So, I mean, it just shows the dynamics of what goes on in the locker room. The fact that there's no kind of like straight up and down hierarchy where Fred goes over to him and he's like, hey, yo, chill the fuck out. Like, relax. And that be enough. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Two things I want to hit before we get out of here. One, Bleacher Report did a story this week on 6 trades they'd love to see that would shake up the NFL. And they do this all the time, but they one of them was the Niners trading for Max Crosby, which, we all get it. But this is the trade package that this Gary Davenport came up with. 2027 first, 2028 second, and Mikael Williams. Would you trade their first next year, their second in 2 years, and Mikael for Max Crosby?
No.
I wouldn't either.
I don't. Max Crosby still got to pass a physical. I like Mikael Williams a lot.
Mikael Williams is damn good. He's damn good.
Yeah.
He is.
I would do it. Hey,
he wasn't my favorite pick.
Season's over.
I'd rather have Walter Nolan, but
would you do it straight up?
What's that? I'd rather have Walter Nolan. Yeah, I'd rather have Walter Nolan than Mikael. But I mean, they're both really good players. Mikael's just different. I think Mikael's maybe a better guy than Walter Nolan.
You're a Walter Nolan guy?
Yeah, I am. I'm a Walter Nolan. He was a 5-star.
I'm a Walter Nolan guy.
Played at A&M.
He's gonna kill in Arizona.
Yeah, I mean, he's already looks like more of a rusher inside than Mikael, but who knows? Who knows? But I've also, the A&M people that I know said that, he's kind of attitude problems and maybe not the best guy, where I think Mikael is much more of a hard worker, better guy. So
well, they said that Walter cleaned a little bit of that up at Ole Miss.
He probably did. He probably did.
Yeah, and that's why he left. Because if you think about it, A&M has had some of like the most Hall of Fame recruiting classes that you can think of for years, and like they got the pay stub to prove it, boy. I'm telling you. And there's a lot of guys that exodus out of that program because, dude, it's so competitive to make the field, and when you get 3 to 4, 5 stars at depth at a position, there's a couple of guys who, they're teenagers. They're going to be a little bit erratic. They're going to leave, So I don't know how Texas A&M keeps their players, because every year it's becoming a trend. Every year they sign like this Hollywood cast of players, and I'm like, they're not keeping all those dudes.
Right. Well, they don't. I mean, they but there's so much money in Texas A&M's pipeline in there with their alums. I mean, Kyle Field is a jewel. I mean, their facilities are off the charts. There's just a lot of money there. I mean, there's a lot of money there. So, I mean, but you're right. They'll get these amazing recruits, and then they leave and they go to all kinds of different schools, and they transfer. There's a lot of good A&M transfers all around the country. That's for sure. All right, let's play one game here before we leave. Let's take a look at the Niner depth chart, and I'm just going to say a name, and you just tell me, makes the team or doesn't make the team. Okay. Here we go. Here's the depth chart. We'll put it up here. All right. So I'll name a few players we'll play this game. Make the team, don't make the team. DeMarcus Robinson. Does he make the team? Does he not make the team?
No.
Doesn't make the team. Wow.
No.
Jacob Cowan. Makes the team, doesn't make the team.
Hold on. Let me get it in front of me. Jacob Cowan, does he make the team? 1, 2.
I mean, it's
yes.
just
yes.
You don't even have to do too much research. I put the depth chart up. Just we can count the numbers.
He does. I got you.
Okay.
He does.
Austin Pleasance. You think he makes the team, or do you think he gets cut?
He gets cut.
Okay. Brett Toth, who's a free agent signing from Philly. Does he make the team as the backup center, or does he get cut?
I think he makes the team and Drake Nugent gets cut.
Okay. Enrique Cruz, 5th round pick out of Kansas, but we know Vidarian Lowe was also brought in as a swing tackle.
Yep.
Does Enrique Cruz make the team, or does he get cut?
They love him too much. I've heard all of the interviews from Coach Forrester. He makes the team.
Yeah, it does sound like he's making the team. Yeah. Luke Farrell makes the team or gets cut?
The tight end?
Yeah.
He makes the team.
Okay. I think he maybe gets cut. But I mean, there's money.
Khalil Dink. No, because they got to go 3 deep because George's not going to be on the team. He'll make the team.
I just think
He'll make the team.
there's got to be another tight end. I just don't like Luke Farrell that much as a player. How about Curtis Rourke? Does he make the team or does he get cut or traded or moved?
He gets traded or moved.
Yeah, I think Adrian Martinez. That's gonna be one of the stories this summer. I think Martinez is gonna beat out Curtis Rourke. Isaac Garendo. Is he on the team? Does he make the team, or does he get cut, or is he on a list? How's that?
Nah, he's done.
Cut.
He's done. Patrick Taylor Jr. is going to make the team. He's not. He's going to miss all of camp too. Yeah. Then we got Keelan Black, Jordan James, Christian, Kyle. So that's what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4. And then Patrick Taylor Jr. and Sincere McCormick. You can't make a team on IR, bro. So unless Patrick Taylor Jr. is just horrible, you know what I mean? Yeah. They're gonna keep 5, basically 4 running backs plus Juice. I think Isaac Garendo may get cut.
Yeah, no, I think he does. How about Evan Anderson? Does he make the team or get cut?
Ooh, that's a good question, and I got a good answer. Cut. He's done.
Yeah, doesn't play. He plays the run, doesn't play the pass. How about Sebastian Valdez? Does he make the team or get cut?
Done.
Yeah, I think he gets cut.
They got to go. James Thompson Jr. and Bryson Eason are going to do it.
Here's the tough one. Sam Aquinu. Does he make the team or get cut? Like
let's talk about this.
They usually go with 5 defensive ends, 5 defensive tackles. So you have Bosa, you have McKell, you have Keon White, you have Sam O. You got Cam Sample now. You got Romello Height, and you also have Mikhail Kamara, who looks really good. William Bradley
That's 7.
King. You got 8 right now. Yeah, you got 9 with Andrew Farmer, but he's an easy cut, I think. Sam Aquinu. I think that's going to be. I think he's going to have a hard time making it. I love him too.
You know who may get Sam Aquinu cut? Cam Sample.
Yeah.
If Cam Sample emerges, they may let go of Sam Aquinu. They already love Keon White. Keon White and Michael Williams, I think that's kind of like a package deal because they have the same body type. They can get a lot done in the same time. But Cam Sample has a little bit more pass rushing ability than Samo. So we'll see. And then also, didn't you say, or somebody, I heard a report that Samo did not look that impressive.
Yeah,
during OTAs.
Yeah, he didn't. I didn't think he looked great, but I think he's a solid, serviceable player. But I think
he's our chess piece, man. On the D line,
I mean,
he can go all over the place.
Yeah, no, I like him.
Yeah,
I mean, and he's tough. But Mikkel, Keon, Bosa, all in front of him. Romello, he's in front of him. And then is Sample gonna beat him out? I'll say this about Sample. Sample's 280 pounds and has some very good reps. Very good reps. Like there are reps where he looks like
he looks like he should start.
Yeah.
So he flashes in a real way. I agree with you.
And then Kamara is also, I think, going to be a find. He's 260 pounds. He's 6 feet tall. I've been told 19 different times that he can't do this and he can't do that. But every time I look at him, he looks good. I mean, he looks good. I'd almost be shocked if he didn't look good in the preseason because I just think he's good. I mean, he knows how to play. I mean, he's a little shorter than you want, but he's quick and he's 260. So 6 feet, 260 with quickness. That plays. So I think Sam O is going to have a hard one. How about Nick Martin? Makes the team or doesn't?
He makes the team.
Yeah, I think he makes the team.
I think they have actual plans for him too at that outside linebacker spot.
I'm hoping so. I'm hoping Raheem Morris has a real plan for him. All right. This is tough.
Want to go corners?
Yeah, let's go corner. Darrell Luter. Does he make the team?
This is hard.
He got a pick the other day in the mini camp.
I don't know. I think Jack Jones may get him.
He's sitting behind Jack Jones on the depth chart right now. Not that that matters.
But also too, you know why I think that Darrell Luter Jr. may be okay because Ephesians Prysock has got to show up. I've heard multiple reports. That's probably the only player where everybody's reports are the same. He did not impress Ephesians Prysock. So,
but when I talked to Ray Brown, his position coach, not to interrupt, but when I talked to Ray Brown, Ray said to me, he's one of the smartest players he's ever been around. I thought that was really blew my mind because you're talking about a really young player with awesome length and talent. If he's also super smart, well, maybe he is a player. I don't know. But yeah, I thought Prysock looked like he was going to struggle in coverage.
He's grabby.
Yeah, he's grabby. And he's doesn't have quite the developed body yet. He's got length and athleticism, but he needs to kind of grow into his
Is
body
he strong?
a little bit. He's long, but he's lean.
Does he get like pushed off his stem? Can he like stay with receivers?
I think his strength is fine. His
body, good press corner.
He has a hard time just mirroring receivers without taking extra steps. So he gets a little grabby in the transitions because he's got to hold on to try to stay with the receivers because these receivers now are just in the NFL. I mean, they're
gonna blaze.
Yeah, and they full speed cuts and all that stuff. So I mean, you gotta really be on your game, and you gotta be healthy. You gotta be rolling. You gotta be mentally right. You gotta know what you gotta be in your playbook. You gotta know where you're at on the field. But then there's also the physical attributes. It's a very demanding physical position. So, Ashton Davis makes the team, or does it?
All right, I'm gonna put my tinfoil hat on right now. There's a reason why they got this guy. All right. Are they not happy with Jair Brown? There's no way that they acquire him just to let him go. I don't see anything that's an actual lock outside of Malik Mustafa. Ashton Davis makes the team.
Yeah.
Now, what's crazy is last year they only kept 3 safeties on the roster. So how many safeties do you think they're going this year?
I mean, the average team keeps 6 corners and 4 safeties. I don't know what they're going to keep, but I think some people think Davis is going to start. So if I didn't necessarily see that, but he did look pretty good at the minicamp, and he does have 4.3 speed as opposed to, some of the, it's not like he's a slow guy. I mean, I
got to really give him a look. Ashton Davis he went to Cal, didn't he?
Yeah, he was a hurdler in college.
A hurdler?
Hurdler. He was
what's a
hurdler, like the hurdles. He ran.
A hurdler.
Hurdler. Yeah.
Hurdler.
Yeah, hurdler. He's a hamburger helper. No.
Yeah, he's the hamburglar.
Hamburger. Good stuff. All right. Oh, wait a second. I hit the wrong button there. There we go. That's gonna do it for us on a Saturday. We're gonna take Penny for a wash. We do have one more super here. Showtime says, prayers up, Krueg. I love my dog the same way. It's devastating even thinking about it. Hang in there. I'm praying for you. Thank you, man.
I'm praying for you, man.
That's probably the best part about doing these shows and being on YouTube and, starting this whole community of people and having these channels. It's like, there's just a lot of people that give a shit.
You feel it. We're here for you, man. I know you feel the warmth. We're here for you. And speaking of warmth, throw up that video, baby. You know it's time for some barbecue, dog. We got to get in here. Got us some chicken breast that we smoked on the smoker, dog. Just threw that more before we came on.
Now, is it the smoke that makes them kind of orange like that?
Yeah, that's it's the smoke. So I'm using cherry wood. All right, I'm using cherry wood, and I got this rub that I use. It's a brown sugar and chipotle lime rub on those chicken breasts, man. Those came out good, man.
Let me see the video on that one more time. Can you rewind that?
Yeah, let's go, baby. Now let's go play by play.
How many do
So
we
why
got? How many? These are bone
chicken
in.
breasts.
Bone
Bone in, baby. We leave the bone in. No homo. Bone in. Okay. So we got them right here. Now, as you see, listen, we got to be where our feet are. I always temp the meat that's farthest away from the heat source. So that's why we got the temp on the chicken breast up top, farthest to the side. Okay. So we monitored that. We went for 170 internal temp on this. We wanted to get these things nice and good, you know, and we sauced them up, man. Did a good job.
Now, what are you spraying on there? Little oil, little applesauce? What do you got?
No. So what I got?
Apple juice. Some people put apple.
I got
juice
some Knorr's. I got some Knorr's chicken bouillon and a little bit of water.
Ooh.
All right. So you go ahead and put some chicken bouillon in there, get some water in there. It'll dissolve up nice. So then you got yourself a nice little chicken spritzer on there. So it's all flavor to the left, flavor to the doggone right. Flavor.
What was the accoutrement? What did you have with the chicken? What were the other sides?
We had some string beans, some cabbage, a little bit of rice. You know, we keep it simple, but we keep it rich. You know, we live a rich life over here at the Coaches Huddle.
Last night, I was super depressed about Penny and the news, but I cooked up because she loves the smell. Of course, we don't give it to her because it's not good for her. But did 2 tri-tips last night. And I did 2 tri-tips, and not only did I do 2 tri-tips, we did some broccolini. Have you ever had some?
Broccolini's the shit.
Oh, dude, broccolini's so good. I like broccolini. It's like my new favorite vegetable. I like broccoli, but it's not quite as tasty as broccolini. I like asparagus, but it's not, it's not quite, it's different altogether. It gets mushy. Asparagus gets mushy. I like cooking the broccolini, little garlic, little butter, oh my gosh, it's amazing. Absolutely
it's the best, man.
And then just drinks in whatever flavors, whatever you season it with. I throw a couple sesame seeds in there a little bit. Just after it's done, just a little extra.
How do you grill it? How do you cook it?
Well, I mean, I've been doing it in a frying pan with 1 cup of water, and then drain the water, and then put a little oil, some seasoning, some butter, some garlic, maybe a little soy sauce. That's how I've been doing it. I kind of like it so far, but I mean, I've got a couple different recipes for broccolini, but yeah, I love a little broccolini. It's hard to find. It's not necessarily.
It is. It's not. It doesn't just lay around.
No, I mean it's.
You can never get it in bulk. It's always seemed to be in like little packages.
The other vegetable that I really like a lot, and this is an odd one, and you may never have had this even. Do you like baby bok choy?
Yes, dude. I use baby bok choy in the pho. I make a mean pho. Do you like pho?
Pho is like a kind of like, is that like
it's a Vietnamese broth based soup
like
dish. I mean,
what's it called? Not,
like with noodles.
Yeah, like what's the other word for that?
Ramen.
Ramen. It's like a ramen. Yeah. That's so good. That stuff's so good. I have a hard time.
Some pork belly with some pho.
Yeah.
Ooh, boy.
Oh yeah, maybe a little spice in there.
Yeah, too. Man. I got the wok, man. We gotta get cooking with Coach going, man.
Seriously,
because I love to cook, bro. I love to cook.
I do too. It's like one of those things where I like to cook when it's like the weekend. It's like when it's like Saturday or Sunday. I don't want to cook like Tuesday night in the middle of the week when we're all, I'll let my wife cook during the week. But like on the weekends, it's like I want to grill. And I want to, and I like to do.
It's a ritual, bro.
Yeah.
I need a drink. You know what I'm saying? I need a cigar. I need some Frankie Beverly and Mays before I let go. I'll be out there doing my thing, man. I'm in my element.
Dude, I've got the most amazing thing tonight. We're going to barbecue. I went to Costco and I got they cut the salmon into steaks, right?
Mm-hmm.
And my wife has this recipe. It's garlic, Dijon mustard, soy sauce, and you get it all together and you coat the salmon while before you cook it, right? So it actually kind of gives it kind of like almost like a blackened look to it when you cook it, because you cook it with the stuff on, and then you put it on again after. It's both a glaze and like a sauce. It's absolutely phenomenal because you get that smoked salmon flavor, and then you get that strong, mustard, garlic, soy sauce blend. Oh my God, dude. With some steamed rice and some veggies. Oh man, it's unbelievable. So I'm gonna try some salmon tonight. Some grilled salmon.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, dude. Like I've gotten addicted. Salmon's really quick.
Really fast.
And
you don't want to overcook it.
You can overcook it. Yeah, you can overcook it and kill it, man. And it can get chalky on you, then and dry it out. But I've gotten addicted to just smoking it. I just smoke it, bro.
You know what's also phenomenal, and I absolutely love it. I Costco now, they sell shrimp that is like the big fat shrimp, but with the tails cut off. So
yeah, the 30 U's, the 13 U's.
But they're raw, like not cooked shrimp, raw shrimp. So I get the raw ones, they're deveined, and the tails are off, and then I'll put them on skewers, and I'll season them with some paprika, a little salt, pepper, some lemon juice, and then grill them. Oh my God, dude! Grilled shrimp on the on the barbecue is just absolutely
man. Yeah, man. You know what else I fell in love with too? Ceviche.
Ooh, like as an hors d'oeuvre, or like as a main, as a
main. I make a main.
What's in your ceviche? What's in it?
Oh man, dude.
It's like salsa, right? It's like salsa. Ceviche is really good. Oh my God, it's so good. So good.
Yeah. Oh, I got another pick. Throw that thing up.
Let's see. Wait 1 second. Gonna move back here. Is that it? Ooh, look at that.
Yeah. Sauce them things up. Now, so I got
you get the pan underneath to make sure that the
Yeah, I take the drippings, man. I don't do cleanup, bro. I don't like cleaning up. So I put a drip pan down. It's all gonna get smoked up anyway. Yeah. But man, we went with a maple and pineapple
so freaking great. I love the color of those chicken breasts. I mean, it's awesome, man. That looks so delectable.
Dude, it's a delectable hue. Look at the hue. They're awesome.
There's some big ones there too. Some big boobs.
Look, big. Get a look at those battle axes.
Look at those Winnebagos.
A couple of warlocks sitting up there on the grill.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Now, how long do you? What temperature and how long do you cook that for?
I go for an internal temp of 175. It takes me probably like about 2.5 hours. Once you get the internal temp down,
slow and low, kind of a slow and low.
No, I go hot and fast. I cook at 275.
275 is hot?
Hot and fast, yeah. Smoking is around like 250 and below.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Right, so 250, 225 around there. That's smoking. But I don't like to smoke the chicken because the skin comes out rubbery. It comes out, and then you want crispy skin. So I go hot and fast at 275. And then when I get to like 165-ish, I crank it up from 275 to 400 for like the last 10 minutes of the cook. So to crisp up that skin. You want the first bite to taste like the last bite the entire way through. So that's why you got to work on it.
It's on a really, really good dinner too. Is sometimes we'll do like a barbecue chicken with breast meat, and then I'll
pull it
and put it on a salad. Like my wife likes like a hot chicken salad with some French bread, and oh my God, she loves that. She loves that. The hot chicken.
Yeah.
Salad.
I understand, man. Like we do everything with, and that's another thing too. We could do pulled chicken sandwiches with these. I made some fajitas with these too. So nice. That's why I like making them, because you don't just get to eat the breast. You can add it to any type of meal that you want. So that's kind of like my meal prep that I do earlier in the week. I just throw on some good chicken, smoke it up, and then eat it in different variations throughout the week.
We got this one. Chicken breast is tough got to brine it for maximum moisture.
That is true. If you really want it to brine, you're gonna have to cook it a little slower. If you cook it brined hot and fast, it's gonna dry out faster. It's almost like you're cooking a sponge. So
you need to finish with heat for chicken and steaks.
Mm-hmm.
GMAC says, "What the heck are we talking about here?" And Larry making up positions for players. LOL. I don't know if I can help you there. Hark says, "Who needs a barbecue show? We need a barbecue show from both of you."
It's coming. You know what?
I'm telling you, we our Food Network show is coming. It's coming.
It's coming, bro. I'm building a pavilion. It may be ready by the summer, but I'm gonna build a barbecue pavilion because I got like a little 8-foot by 8-foot concrete slab in my backyard. And I use it for a fire pit. And me and my girl arguing, that's where I go. That's my little place. But I'm willing to sacrifice my doghouse for putting in like a barbecue pavilion, and I'm gonna put it in, and then we're gonna do shows from the pit, bro. I'm gonna have the grill with me. We're gonna do the shows. And how long do we do a show? 2 hours?
How long have we been on today? 2 hours, yeah.
We've been on 2 hours.
Yeah.
I can cook we're gonna cook some wings, some chicken during the show.
Yeah,
if it takes us 2 hours, we can cook it.
Yeah,
it's going down.
What we got to do is we'll start the show. We'll give you, and then you can maybe you could film like your preamble. Then you can send it to us, and then we could cook while we're streaming. And then, though, you probably need someone to tend the grill, right? You need someone to turn stuff and that kind of thing. We got this one from Eric. He says, "I'm poor." What does that have to do with it? And Brussels sprouts with bacon and garlic and lemon juice is good.
That's
what
fire.
You're poor? What does that mean? You're poor?
Brussels sprouts are expensive. You ain't fooling nobody.
Say, Brussels sprouts. I got Brussels sprouts. I got a bag of Brussels sprouts on layaway right now.
You can buy baby cabbages. What?
We got this one from whatever. Costco samples stopped because of Larry. Thank you. Thank you. The people see me. I try to park my cart and block other people. At Maddock, get a puppy, Krueg, before Penny is gone so she can be a role model. I like that idea. We got two more supers here. Cosmos says, "Krueg, I went to Pig and a Pickle last week. I mentioned you, and the kid said, 'Who's Krueg?' Food was good."
He was a new guy. He was new.
That guy's fired. That guy's fired.
You don't know who Larry is? Get him out of here.
What? That guy's gone. We got this one from Cass. He says, "Krueg, my heart is with you." Thank you, bro. Thank you, bro. And we have this one from Pooh Man.
You got one that you really need to read, Larry.
Stay strong. Stay strong. Thank you, man. I appreciate you. The Tattoo Jesus for Penny. I'm sorry, Krueg. I'm sorry, man. This is what I'm talking about, man. This is exactly.
We love you, man.
This is what makes this whole medium really something special, is that it's, whether we're entertaining the audience is participating. We're real. You're real. I'm real. We don't deepen our voice to do the show. We don't get dressed up to come on. We don't try to, you know what I mean? This is who we are. And I think it's to me, as somebody who did radio from 1997, and I still do it to this day, I love this medium. I love the medium of YouTube because of the national nature of it, the international nature of it, the community, the video, the fact that we could do this same show on the radio, but we couldn't show pictures of the chicken. We can't, you know what I mean? It's just, and pictures tell 1,000 words. So, there's so many great things that from the YouTube that I just really, really love. Hank says, "I lost my dog Will a few years ago. It was awful going through it. I feel your pain, brother. Prayers for you. P.S. You're still lazy." Okay. We got this one, Krueg. "You're gonna make me cry, man. Sending love." I think, do we already get these? Maybe we did.
No, you got some more. I know you haven't gotten all of them.
Showtime says, "Prayers up, Krueg. I love my dog the same way. It's devastating even thinking about it. Hang in there. I'm praying for you." Thank you, man. Thank you. Oh, wow. Somebody dropped a C note in here.
Yeah.
T-Bone, A4. Larry, sorry to hear about your dog, man's best friend.
Yeah.
T-Bone, thank you, man. Thank you, man. I appreciate you. I mean, it's not about the 100. I mean, though, that's awesome. It's amazing. Thank you. But it's more about the community and being able to, hey, come on. Life, right? That's what this is. We celebrate. We celebrate together. We mourn together.
And you know what this really is about, Larry? Honestly, is the reason why the show works for us. The reason why our platforms work is you've already covered it. Steak and potatoes, man. You get what you get. This is who I am. This is who you are. And one thing that you and I both know is that some of the best reasons why we do this is because we don't know whose day we're filling. We don't know how many people come into the chat on our Saturday and they have a penny situation and we're getting them through, right? We don't know how many people that come into all of our channels and we're in their ear while they're at work, while they're handling their daily lives, while they're going through their trials and tribulations. And it's just your turn. It's your turn. You don't know how many times we carry people who need to hear us to fill the monotony of their day, to keep them off of, over processing things that they know they have to trudge through. Sometimes it's not about just facing the things that you need. It's just facing them alone. And the fact that we're here with you, brother, you're going to be all right.
Yeah. No, I love that. I love that sentiment, Coach. And thank you. Thank everybody. I mean, thanks to everybody for being here. I do feel better today. I do feel better now than I did at the beginning of the show. The reality of the situation, but is the reality, and it's all very sad still, but you know what? You're right. I mean, there's one thing that this week I think has taught me is that, you know what, we highlight our differences as people way, way more than we should. And we don't really celebrate what really brings us together, which is this whole thing called life and these experiences and the good parts of life, the bad parts of life. These are the things that unite us and bond us. We're a lot more alike than we are different. And communities like this make me feel optimistic. We got two last ones here. Little ass boys. Thank you, Ayuk. Penny forever.
We love you, BA.
Lit ass boys. This
Hello,
chat is
boys.
litty. This chat is litty. Chat is litty.
Oh my God. All right, stop, Larry. Stop. I can't hear you say this.
Chat is litty.
Yeah.
All right. It's time to bolt for the door. Good stuff, Coach. Love you, bro. Have a great week, man.
You too, man.
We'll do it. And I really appreciate the kind words, man. I mean, I was really encouraged to see you today, and I wasn't sure if it was going to happen, but man,
I got stuck at the range, man. You know what I'm saying?
No,
I got to clean this thing. Put through some rounds for Coach. You know what I'm saying? Got to put through we got to talk guns too.
Yeah,
we got to talk guns too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We gonna break down some stuff.
I got a gun. I got a gun. It's not loaded, of course, but I got it. I got a gun upstairs, and it's a sweet one. And I forget exactly what it is, but I'll tell you. I'll tell you next time. We'll talk guns next time.
We got to talk guns, man.
Or like that magazine, guns, ammo, girls, barbecue.
Yeah.
It's like what the hell, guys. Yeah. It's a guys mag. Anyway, good stuff. Thanks to Coach. Thanks to all of you. Have a great Saturday. Peace.
Yeah, never met a man I've been scared of. Careful.